Hello everybody, Jay Barino here, welcome back. Continuing UEDAIP, it's a custom mod for StarCraft Remastered, and I'm starting the Terran campaign today, the UED campaign, based on the title of this project, UED AI Project. I presume that the UED campaign changes were the progenitor of this whole thing, that since expanded into the Protoss and Zerg campaigns, and then circling back to change the UED campaign even more. There's custom faction, which I've played around with in other standalone maps, so I'm vaguely familiar with it, but I'm sure we'll get a lot more familiar with it as we continue. We saw them just a little bit in the Protoss campaign in 2 different missions as well. And the briefing screen is mildly changed, so we'll check that out for a couple seconds, and then the in-game console is also different. Okay. Very white and bright. Fitting. Let's go. Okay, same thing with the console here. Contrasts a lot with the nighttime on Braxis.
Oh, crap. This land inside doesn't have any gas. Guess we'd better start looking for another geyser. We'll take them. No armor's too tough.
Okay.
Captain, welcome. This is Lieutenant Vasily. I will take our Vespin reserves and provide you with close air support during this operation.
Not enough minerals.
Good to go, sir.
Okay, so we have Vasily as a ally. Vasily was the one that chased us to Char when we were playing as Protoss, which is Nekron's new character. So everything is different with this faction. I don't think there's any overlap in the units except medics, which the Dominion doesn't get. So technically there is no overlap. So they look similar, but they have different. They fill different roles to an extent. Scorpions
Good to go, sir.
and Legionnaires are the only.
Not enough minerals.
Are the only units that I can build right now that cost only minerals, so I guess let's just make those exclusively and then just keep making more SCVs. I wonder if I could lift off and move a little closer, like this. Doesn't seem... Well, I don't really know if this is going to be any better or worse, but let's go ahead and do this and see... Are they smart enough to return? They are, okay, if they were just sitting and waiting.
Got any questions about propane?
I don't, but thank you for asking, whoever that was.
No armor's too tough. What's the plan?
Okay, so we have Scorpions. It looks like Spider Mines are still available. Faster Vulture and Scorpion movement. All right.
Orders, Captain?
I could still make bunkers.
Orders received.
Oh, okay. It's because they're going to come and attack us. Firebats are going to come and attack us. Firebats apparently have been beefed up a little bit.
What's the plan?
And made a little stronger. So yeah, it's what it says. Slow firing.
Scorpion, ready for
It says it does 24 damage. The question is, if it's like Vultures and does concussive damage, that means it's only good against small units. I don't know if that's true here or not. Maybe they do normal damage or explosive damage. If you're unfamiliar, concussive damage does full damage against small units, and then reduced damage against medium, and then even more reduced damage against large. Normal damage just does full damage to everything. And then explosive damage does full damage to large units, slightly reduced damage to medium, and then a lot reduced damage, I think, to small. I think that's how that works. Anyway, Vasily's kind of covering for us. Let's just get a few units up here to assist us. So when we find Duran, I can only hope that we'll have access to some gas, because this is going to be... It's going to be a little annoying just going with Marines, well, Legionnaires and Scorpions. I'm going to be getting these names wrong, I think, a lot. But I play with a lot of custom tech trees. All right, and I need another supply depot. These Panzers are very strong. Attacks deal 28 plus, so 30 extra damage against their primary targets. So these have the potential of dealing 105 damage to their primary target plus splash damage. So they're basically sieged tanks, better sieged tanks that can move. And then presumably a minimum range, but I don't know.
Additional supply depots required.
I'm going to grab another barracks as well. Not that I can necessarily produce out of them. How much are the Scorpions? 125. All right. And then Legionnaires are 75. So to look at the difference here, these do 18 damage. They actually shoot 3 times, so it's 6 shots or 6 damage per shot. So it actually the armor reduction, like +3 armor, for example, is going to be tripled against this 18. So these are going to do particularly worse in the later game against high armored enemies. Granted, I don't know how the weapon upgrades are going to apply to them either. So we can offset it. They also have a base +1 armor and a lot of extra HP, so that extra 25 minerals goes pretty far. The other difference, though, is you could see the supply cost of the Legionnaire is pretty significant, so... Okay, well, and we've got Vasily here, and I assume that this has been changed significantly, mostly to force the player into trying out the lower tier units, just to see how they function. I don't know, I'm guessing.
The Scorpion's ready.
Not enough minerals.
And I guess let's grab an academy. So one thing to point out is you'll notice that nothing has different skins in the game, like no completely custom units. Number one, because that's a lot harder to do in Remastered, but two, this is playable in the old graphic style. So you don't have to own Remastered to play this mod. Which means, I mean, if you were to give something like a new unit model in Remastered, that wouldn't necessarily transfer to the old version of the graphics. So, but the nice part of that, though, is knowing that this would work even in the older version of the game.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, I can't upgrade. I'm going to just go ahead and take this group and
On the mark, sir.
make it happen. No medics.
Deutschland's finest.
Deutschland's finest.
Sir, yes, sir.
So I recognize, now that I've been playing Red Alert 2, I recognize a lot of these voice lines from Yuri's Revenge.
Right away.
Additional supply depots
They got to
required.
get through me first. Deutschland's
Oh my gosh, I love these Panzers. How expensive are they? Pretty expensive. So it seems like our units in general are more expensive. They cost more supply, but they are just that much stronger. Alright, fire bats. These Scorpions appear to be providing a good amount of damage
We'll
support.
take 'em. They got to get through me first.
Okay, let's just keep making Legionnaires.
Additional supply
Need
depots
more supply
required.
depots, that's fine.
What's the plan?
Let's get in here and stop them from reinforcing. I want to keep this Panzer safe because I can't repair it because it's going to require gas to do that. Whoop. Okay, kill the Wraith. Yeah, these Legionnaires are definitely really strong. You can see there's a big delay between every time they attack, but again, every time you see them shoot, they're doing 3 rounds of 6 damage, so it's really significant. Okay, so in theory, this is safe. Can we get up to Duran, please? We really need another base here.
Taking position.
Scorpion, ready for battle.
Well, now we're attacking.
Armor's too tough.
Captain, I am Lieutenant Samir Duran of the Confederate Resistance Forces. I've been monitoring your attack against the Dominion, and I'd like to offer you my services and skills in return for amnesty.
Intriguing. Lieutenant, you have absolutely no idea as to who we are or what we have come here to do. Why do you wish to side with us?
Because my men and I have sworn to fight against the Dominion and its Emperor. Seeing as how your forces have been laying into this Dominion base, I figured we were on the same side.
I see. How exactly do you propose to be of service to us, Lieutenant?
Well, I possess intimate knowledge of the surrounding area. I can show you an alternate route that leads to the rear of the main Dominion base.
Very well, Lieutenant. Consider yourself and your men the first colonial conscripts of the United Earth Directorate. Captain, see that the Lieutenant is given our full cooperation. We shall see if he's worth the effort.
Let's show 'em what we got.
Duran must survive. Do I at least get Duran? I do get Duran,
You got it.
but his base is also allied, so no...
They got to get through me
no
first.
higher tier units, no gas is available at all here. Interesting.
Taking position.
So I'm basically responsible for
See who's tougher.
doing this with extremely low tier units, but that's, I mean, let's just keep making stuff in our home base and then we'll get it up there later, because if I try to move it up there now, like incrementally, I'm sure it'll get picked off by enemy attacks and such, so I'd like to avoid that.
Orders, Captain.
We're getting gas.
Orders received. Let's show 'em what we got.
Additional supply depots required.
Is he
Additional supply depots
technically
required.
giving us gas, I think, is the idea
What's the
here.
plan?
Sir, yes, sir.
What's the plan?
I think so. I think technically he is providing us with gas right now. Let's grab one more bunker up here, because we're going to keep getting attacked throughout this. So my first instinct is, okay, so nothing at the academy is available. I can make medics now, so just getting a couple medics seems prudent.
Let's show 'em what we got.
Getting an SCV up there to repair my Panzer, getting more Panzers for that matter. Also just basic upgrades. Let's get started here, because they are time-consuming. I think that's it. I mean, I can't get anything at the academy, so it's just whatever we can get out of the engineering bay.
Set a course.
And then just more of, okay, well, battle cruisers. Okay, that is also a very large group,
Scorpion, ready for battle. On the
but
move.
they can't attack air.
Forward. Scorpion, ready for
Okay,
battle.
well, get in there, buddies. Again, I feel like our armor is particularly effective until we can get our attack upgrades. These Steel Legionnaires, again, are not going to do great against armored up stuff.
What's the plan?
But again, we'll see once we get +1 how things are looking. Okay, I lost my single bunker. Even just like leaving a Panzer in base to help defend also seems prudent. I think we just want more of those, and then some medics. Shockingly effective frontline units. I'm going to get one of them just because I want to see what their stats are like.
On the mark, sir.
Okay, let's make a run with an SCV up here and see if we can get up there. So that we are getting some prompts to say, like, hey, they're going to attack you soon, which is interesting. Can I make... I can make an armory, at least, but I can't make a science facility, so we're going to be stuck at
Your forces
+1.
are under attack.
Run, SCV, run! So as expected, the Dominion
Scorpion, ready for battle.
the Dominion attacks are mostly going to be fire bats, I guess vultures, and siege tanks. Okay, so Duran's moving up. I could move up and support him. I've got a decent amount of units here. Actually, no. I'm going to need more anti-air to take down battle cruisers for sure, so we could get some Totus Ritters. But I need to rally units up to my next area in the first place, which is going to take some time. But Vasili's kind of running interference, which will allow me to get my reinforcements up there pretty soon. Just get a couple more medics.
Show 'em what we got.
And I think, again, I think that these Steel Legionnaires are going to be really, really good, assuming that we can keep up with upgrades. But if we can't keep up with upgrades, we're going to be struggling a lot. And I think that's going to be a major thing over the course of this this campaign. Because, again, the infantry seems really strong, but you're going to be, I think you're going to be in major trouble, again, if you can't keep up with upgrades. So on limited resource maps, we might have some trouble moving into late game. If and when there are limited resource maps, we'll see.
They got to get through me
Upgrade
first.
complete.
I don't know what's going on here, but let's kill them. Good amount of Marines.
Scorpion, ready for battle.
These Scorpions seem fine. That's the only way I could describe them. They're fine.
What do you need?
Big thing here is, again, not being able to reinforce too easily. Let's go ahead and get a ComSat. Hotkey there. And I would like a couple of these Totus Ritters just to help us against air. And I notice
Scorpion, ready for battle.
that he's not always harvesting gas, but we're technically getting gas at a predefined, I think it's, again, a predefined rate, is what it seems like to me.
Add-on complete.
Okay, I don't feel super comfortable moving out. Duran is going right now,
Deutschland's
What's the
finest.
plan?
so I could move up here and maybe start clearing out this upper right area. If we can kill that, then he'll probably start moving somewhere as well. Again, I have +1, so what does +1 give us? 18. So it's +1 damage per burst. So okay, yeah. Again, if we can keep up with upgrades, then these guys are going to be very strong.
Scorpion, ready for battle.
If that was not the case, then this would be a lot harder,
Forces are under
and the infantry would drop off a lot faster late game for sure.
Almost took up. Taking position.
Duran locked down here.
Solid in a rock, sir. We'll take 'em.
Yeah, see, I mean, the battle cruisers are super beefed up, but yeah, this is like, it forces you to use Duran, which I think is a good thing. And the Totus Ritters are the ones that, attack faster the longer they keep attacking ground units and shoot continuously when moving towards their target. That's cool. Unholy champion. And then eventually we can upgrade them to use the Charon rockets. It's not that this is versus air and this is versus ground. This is versus both. But then you get the upgrade to allow the Charon rockets versus both.
Scorpion, ready for battle.
Okay, let's move Duran and such up the ramp. By the way, let's save because, you know, if he dies, I'd be a sad man.
Additional supply depots required.
All right, and I think we have enough here.
Your forces
I'm running
are
out of
under
space
attack.
for more depots in my own base. So there's that. I think I just got hit with a bunch of... Oh, no, that's Duran. Good. Thanks, Duran. Let's just move on in and clear out this upper right area. We gotta get up the ramps. Ignore most of this stuff. Where's... Okay, he's here. He's fine. Wonder if they're gonna rebuild those battle cruisers or not. The Scorpions seem good, but I don't know if I'd say they're good enough to be... Well, I mean, they're only minerals, and it seems like the stuff that is gas-heavy is gas-heavy. It's not just like a little gas. It's like 175 gas, right? So I'd like to make a run with this group up there. Let's wait for this next round of units. And then we'll move up.
You got it.
Did we start with all of our medic upgrades? No, okay, so they just weren't available. Because those usually become available only in Mission 2, like Restoration and, well, Restoration's all I'm thinking of. Optical Flare, that's it. They are building out of these starports. I like the, I mean, it's the sound, the Legionnaire sound is quite satisfying. I don't know, I like it. Maybe it's a little too loud at times, I don't know. You tell me in the video if you think it's a little overpowering, but I think the changed, the changed sound effects are quite satisfying in my opinion. All right, hopefully I'm not blocking Vasily. He said he took our gas reserves, but all he's doing is sending out Marines. Sometimes he makes Wraiths, or Sky Wings, rather. Oh yeah, I made an EMP soldier, so he gets 10 shields. I have no idea how we're supposed to upgrade that. 14 plus 4, I don't know. It depends on what that damage type is. Because that's a very low amount of damage unless it does splash or it's normal damage, meaning it does full against everything. Explode on death, depleting nearby shields and energy. So very good against Protoss. We're going to be making those a lot in the one mission where we're fighting Protoss. But who knows, we might be fighting more Protoss.
Of course.
Okay, on the plus side, the UED, or the Dominion rather, do not start laying down spider mines. How dare you even consider taking that, sir. Alright, my units made it up here. Let's get them up there.
Let's see who's tougher. They got to get through me first.
And I gotta remember that these things, their range isn't as far as siege tanks, but they're mobile, which is insane. So we should just make a group of these, hotkey them, move them in, attack buildings, and our Totus Ritters are going to be moving up here pretty soon. They're pretty beefy, too. They have a base 4 armor, LMAO Panzers. There went our EMP Trooper. Not going to be too many good uses for those against Terran, but against... But definitely against Protoss, it's going to be excellent. All right, we're going to move past this entrance. I don't want to stop. I just want to move by it. No need to attack into this. We just want to go all the way up and around. Our allies should be moving in here soon. Hang on a second. Could probably just use the Panzers to attack the command center from back there once we get vision.
Scorpion, ready for battle.
Well, I went overboard on this map, but that's mostly because I just wanted to play around with it a little bit. We got to check out the modified briefing screen, which is neat.
On the move. Forward.
And again, the beginning forces you to at least make these Scorpions once, and I'm trying to think of a situation in the future. I mean, again, the maps are probably heavily changed, so I don't know when would be good to use them and when wouldn't. And we want to get our Totus Ritters into position where they can just stop and shoot just endlessly so that they can start revving up with the faster attack. How much faster? I don't know. I'm sure that's documented somewhere. Okay, there we go. And while the Dominion will continue attacking, or rebuilding and trying to save themselves, we've got our medics here, and we're just slowly wiping this out. This was a nice little slice of the
They gotta
UED
get through me
faction.
first.
No,
Mission successful, Admiral.
no starport.
Excellent, Lieutenant. This planet's primary defenses are now crippled. Our TAC teams can now begin to decode the Dominion security data link.
Wonderful. All right, cool first mission, and again, it was curated in a way that really allowed you to mess around with the lower tier UED stuff. Again, we haven't gotten into the starport tech or +2-3, of course, and then a lot of the upgrades that you'd see at like the machine shop, for example, being able to upgrade your, I think it's your Skywings and your Totus Ritters from just either the burst lasers. Or just, it's like the normal Gemini missiles turn into the Charon rockets, and then the Gatling gun turns into the Charon rockets for the Skywing and the Totus Ritter, respectively. So, pretty neat stuff. All right, well, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.